Hey guys, welcome back to another night. Tonight we're going to talk about Jeeps and more specifically their doors. If you have a 07 to I think 18 or 17 Wrangler, at some point you might already know about this, but basically their doors after a while get really hard to open. I have to physically pull and push this really hard to actually be able to get it to open. So let's spin the camera around and I'll show you why. Okay, so here's the weak link. The problem is that this is steel and there's a bushing on the inside that's aluminum. And then it's got the pin that goes all the way through that, but basically that bushing is aluminum, and so it will start to degrade and kind of get some buildup on it. And as that happens, basically it gets tighter and tighter in there until you can't barely open this door very well at all. So there's nothing wrong with the pin, there's nothing wrong with the door. It's just that bushing on the inside that needs to be swapped out. All right, so how do you fix this? Luckily, it's pretty simple. There's other companies, but TMR Customs is who I went with, and they make a Delrin bushing to replace it, as well as a punch to be able to pop that old one out. The biggest part of this job is actually getting the old bushing to come out of the hinge itself, but once that's done, this is a pretty easy job. So we're gonna go ahead and pop these open and go ahead and take this door apart. All right, so as this is a two-door, I just got the two-door kit, which comes with a top and bottom bushing for both sides. This is all it is a little Delrin bushing just to replace the aluminum one, as well as the punch to be able to pop that in and out. Basically all this is a machine piece of steel, be able to slip up inside there and push that old bushing out without damaging the paint. All right, so as this is a power window and lock Jeep, there's a couple things you have to do. First of all, there is this little connector needs to be undone right there. Just a little red clip there, just pull that down and pull it apart, as well as in this door strap right here will just come right off of that hook. So pop that off and pop that connector out, and the door will be untethered from the body of the Jeep. All right, now that you have the harness undone, there are two screws, assuming you're not someone who keeps these out all the time because you're taking your doors off, but if you are, that's cool too. But there's two basically bolts that go all the way up through here. They are a T50. So just take a ratchet and undo those. Make sure that your ratchet does not hit your paint. You just set these aside for now. There's little caps that hold the hinges into the door. Now with those little nuts off of the bottom here, the door is now ready to come off the hinges. Now if you do have stuck bushings the way I do, the way we do on this Jeep, this can be a bit of a trick. So basically if your doors are stuck, the best way to do it is just maintain constant pressure and kind of slightly swing on the door. Swing the door back and forth as you lift up on it, and slowly over time it will pop. You can see this, I've already been playing with this one. It is starting to come up just a little bit, but it just takes brute force. Just lift up and swing the door in and out gently, and eventually it will pop. You see why this gets so hard? They just get piled up with gunk. You kind of see down inside there, it's just corroded on the inside, and I can see why that pin would have a really hard time swiveling within that bushing. So there's two ways to do this. You can either take a screwdriver and tap in this kind of flanged out top region, so and then beat it down from the bottom, or you can take this punch, so you can either beat that in and pound it down from the top, or you can go directly in from the bottom right here and just tap that up, and that's what I'm planning to do if I can. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tape basically a cloth or a towel onto the paint right there, just in case I do get wild with the hammer, that way I don't mess up the paint. Okay, so we're just gonna stick this punch up inside here just a little bit. That's all there is to it. Now with this out, you can see how corroded these get. You can see why these would become an issue. They get kind of filled up with dirt, they start corroding, and make that pin really hard to move in and out. Now on this top one, there just wasn't enough throw here, with the side steps on to be able to actually get underneath it. So I went ahead and tapped that flange in to collapse it on the inside. Now we'll just tap down on it from the inside, or from the top side. can see this was clearly the problem child here. It was completely corroded. The inside was disgusting. It was a whole lot harder to get out. And this was really the problem child of the two. But since we're here, we're going to go ahead and replace both of them. So now we have two clean surfaces. We're going to kind of lube this up just a little bit and put the new Delrin bushing in. Both out. You go ahead and put the new Delrin bushing in. Now do not use a hammer or anything else to put these in. Just kind of get it in there and push it all the way down. They aren't hard. They go in pretty easily. All the way down. So that's it. We have two new Delrin bushings in. Now we can start reassembly. Now we're going to put these Torx caps back on to be able to secure the door. They just thread right back in, real easy. Once again, that's a T50 Torx bit to tighten these back up. Door back in place. Go ahead and just put this connector back on. It clips in. Push that red tab up. It's locked in. As well as put this strap back on its little steel hook here. And there we go. That's it, guys. It is amazing. I can't tell you how much better this is. The door just swings, like it's supposed to. It's amazing versus having to put any force on it. It just goes back together, locks in place the way it's supposed to. Good to go.